Attention and awareness. I previously did videos about not only the left and the right brain descriptions being kind of circulated in neuroscience and other places, and describe the top down. As for me, a little bit, I think, more useful to get the bottom back to the top without using metacognitive skills and systems and processes people make, like visualizations or rituals or, cult practices, to get those two, in Zen Buddhism, I guess you would say, centered. In Tibetan Buddhism, I guess, enlightened, or plain old balanced. And I think from those terms, a good next step for, I think, a neurophilosophical video would be attention and awareness. Attention for me and awareness right now, is like, well, I gotta get some coffee in my throat. I gotta pay attention to my throat. I'm still getting over the flu. But I've been fortunate to not have any sort of attention deficit disorder. I had some hard days with my diplopia in my right eye where, good gosh, I was just not used to that distraction. It was just nuts and elevated to the extreme out here in Seattle with all of the social stuff, and I'm mildly autistic, so I don't get like gestures a lot, and behaviors never made any sense to me for many reasons. And never really could get those terms to make sense until I started working with children with those attention difficulties, especially when I worked with the at-risk and homeless youth kids, the street kids, who were for the most part pretty sweet and cool and awesome and fun, but they were also tragic and having a hard time a lot from the drugs that they did and the camping outside and the disarray. Not having, a kind of home where you can get that figured out. That, for me, the time on the screen, the numbers for me that I can see but y'all can't see. And it's like that for all of us. We all have our own sense of time, I think, our own sense of where we are, what we're doing, because we're not all doing the same stuff at the same time. I think we would be bored mostly if that were occurring. Because then we would maybe be in a simulation like they talk about, and we'd be like robots or something weird or strange or very bizarre. So like I just did with that thought, where it just kind of kept going and going, and the previous terminology with the left brain and the right brain, going off on that creativity, thinking, and making people disinterested, maybe. Mostly not caring. When you get too far with your thoughts, you got to really condense them, and that's why I'm trying to do that with this YouTube channel for school, so that hopefully I could teach someday. I want to be able to help. So going back up from down at the breath, and maybe going back down again just to make it extra apparent. Are beneficial for brain and body minimally, but I think as an extra step for someone who's really wanting to get better attention and better awareness, the awareness of your body from those practices of going from talking, in your brain to silence down to your heart. And not only seeing, if you're seeing through a video camera like me, your awareness in the world. My ashram for me, a safe, somewhat warm because I've been cooking all day. But even when it's cold, I feel at peace because I did a lot of work to make it safe, fun, and enjoyable. And then attention. Again, the thoughts kind of kept going. It's getting later in the day. My eyes are tired. I'm still a little lethargic from the flu. Those are kind of cognitive checks. You're thinking, okay, so why am I slow and why am I going, too far? And those are other good practices, kind of advancing further and further towards a stable mind and a healthy brain with a whole body connecting to that brain. And from the awareness, the confusion, because I went so quick to awareness and I heard a noise at the same time. Once in a while, you'll kind of get a little shaky because there's just certain processes that kind of are not normal in the place that I am. So if you're in a place like me, like the drug addict who hits the wall, and the methamphetamine, and the man who tried kicking in my door when I first moved here, stuff doesn't always run smoothly. So you just got to keep practicing. Okay, so the thoughts got maybe a little more focused as they got further along, and now you can kind of get the body back down, because you never get hurt with taking your time to breathe, and then go up to the brain, and your attention sees what's in front of you. For me, it's my face talking, my glasses, the Punisher skull with the green line on my wall, the sacred geometry to the left of it. And the more relaxed attention sees the time going to 10 minutes and the end of this part of attention awareness.